evening. It's the Tony and Tim show. We're back after a thrilling weekend. I'm Tony.
And I'm Tim.
Beautiful football team that we witnessed, including one of probably the best goalkeeping displays in recent memory in the Premier League.
Yeah, Tony, I think it's one of the best, if not the best, second best from Gea and the same player.
Manchester United beating Tottenham Hotspur 1-0 away from home, of course, at the Wembley Stadium in a fiercely contested game. Let's talk about this game, Tim, for a second. For all the neutrals out there, we knew that it was going to be a very, very big game. Manchester United came into this game on the back of 5 wins in a row under the new manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Tottenham came into this game with 3 games at home, all wins against Manchester United, with Manchester United struggling whenever they visit in the past couple of games. So it was a game that was built to have a lot of action. Yeah,
Tony, it was built to have all this action, mainly because Man United in the new management had won the 5 games you've said, but 4 of them in the Premier League. So it was like an acid test. What can Man United do when they play one of the big boys? And Tottenham being number 3 in the table was a big boy in that case. And I thought we've not got to the conclusions in this game now.
We certainly talked about the quality of the opposition that Manchester United had been facing prior to this, of course, and we talked about if they were to face opposition like this, is when we probably would see now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics being tested. He certainly lived up to the billing in terms of how he set up his team. We talked about it in the previous game. In the build-up to the game, we were looking at where the struggles would be, and of course, you mentioned that the midfield of Sissoko and Winks would find it hard to contain Pogba and company, but they suddenly tried until Sissoko got off the pitch.
Yeah, Tony, they had matched Man United. I even thought they looked better, but when Sissoko got that injury, it changed the entire ball game. But for me, I thought it became a positive change at the end of the day. Thanks to Spurs opened up and they attacked Man United, but still that defensive mind that Sissoko gives you and the confidence to other players, I thought was missed in that game.
And of course, Manchester United, their Spurs starting that game brilliantly. Of course, we looked at their lineup. They didn't have very many changes there. We talked about the long-term absentees not being available to Mauricio Pochettino. But this is certainly the Spurs team that you expect to be starting week in, week out. The only question I had, though, for me, when I looked at the lineup was Heung-min Son being played up top as a second striker. I think which is a position that probably didn't favor him at all. We saw him almost going missing in this game. I think he's more suited playing as a left winger.
Yeah, he's more suited on the left wing, but he was played up top as a pairing. There is always this need of coaches to tweak formations when they go into the big games. We saw even Man United, Rashford had to play from the right wing and Lingard was in the middle. But I do not understand why they deviate from a working formula. If Son has come from the left and you've been playing one striker, let it be. But he changed it, and I thought Son did not live up to the billing. He did not perform, Tony.
Very interesting there. Of course, even Harry Kane, the top scorer, of course, joint top scorer in the league, he was unable to get any goal in this particular game. But let's talk about the brilliance of the Manchester United formation. They knew that this is a game that was going to test their resolve. They knew that this was going to be a big test for everyone involved. You could see in the way they were playing, especially in the first half, Solskjaer telling them to be more cautious.
Correct.
To try and hit Spurs on the counter-attack, which is something that worked, especially with the tireless Lingard up front there. I think he had a very brilliant outing. But the second half opened up more, like we said, when Sissoko left. Spurs kept throwing more pressure at United. Winks is a player who, even as a deep player, likes to move up and create. And same thing for Eriksen when he changed that formation. And so Spurs almost had 5 players attacking Manchester United, which became a big problem. You could see Matic and Herrera very close to the Manchester United box, which invited a lot of pressure. And De Gea had to pull off the performance of the season.
Yeah, Tony, they always say if you're to take the title, the goalkeeper has to win you about 10 to 15 points. And I thought in yesterday's fixture, De Gea won all the 3 points because any day, any keeper will concede 2 and more goals. That was a classical performance. And if United has any hope to get into the top 4, that is what they will be doing every weekend. They need the keeper to be up there. The players have to be up there. We did mention that the rejuvenated players were Rashford and Pogba, and the two combined to get to get the goal for Man United.
A brilliant pass from Pogba.
Very brilliant, Tony. And I thought even a well-taken goal. And then you start now building from this, that even the acid test has been passed. What more can you do? And I see United getting above in this table.
It was certainly a big performance from De Gea. Very, very beautiful saves there. 11 saves that he made in this game in total, which is a very ridiculous test. And this, don't take anything away from him. These were not simple saves.
They were not simple saves.
Basically, very well placed. Almost all the. It was a big performance.
They were goal scoring saves.
It was a big performance there. Of course, Solskjaer also came out at the end of the game saying that Spurs played well, but we are allowed to have a good goalkeeper. So it shows you how much he did. And of course, it keeps shining a light on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's belief that he's installed in all these players. After he came in as a boss, De Gea was not keeping the clean sheets.
No.
He now looks more motivated.
He has to in 4.
He has to in 4 games. So it shows you how much everyone has improved across the board. And of course, the increased belief in Rashford up front. He's now getting the goals. We talked about him off air before even the season began, that he's a player that has a lot of potential if the coach believes in him, and he's starting to show it. Of course, in this Manchester United side, Lukaku, in my opinion, might be struggling to get his number back after these very good performances. But what does that mean for Spurs' title hopes?
I think, Tony, Spurs now
9 points now
9 points adrift of Liverpool. That surely might be it, because I don't see Liverpool losing 3 games and Spurs does not lose any game there. No, I think they are up there. But also you have to look at they lost Sissoko in that game. The Son is away for the Asian Cup. Hurricane got injured. These are 3 starters in the current Tottenham side, Tony. In a thin squad, and I'm scared.
And Lucas Moura
is out. They are now 7 points ahead of Man United, Tony. That means they could be in the struggle for the top 4 positions. They are no longer in the it's now a 2-horse race, and I'm scared. We are looking at Man United fighting Arsenal and Chelsea, but Tottenham could be in that dogfight too.
No, they are suddenly sucking themselves into the pressure, especially with the team just below them in Chelsea. They having won their game makes it a very interesting chase. They are, of course, just 1 point ahead of Chelsea. So you can see that things are becoming weird for Mauricio Pochettino. And of course, he was coming up against the coach that most people believe might be leaving that hot seat at the end of the season. And Pochettino is one of those that are expected to take over.
The candidate.
So it's very interesting when you meet the person and he outclasses you. So it's certainly a very big problem for Mauricio Pochettino.
It's a big problem. It was an audition. I think the only positive Pochettino will have will be the number of attempts against Man United. It was outstanding. It was more than what Solskjaer brought for the United side. So I think Pochettino still leads that race for the big job.
Very interesting there. Of course, Spurs now on 48 points in 3rd place, 9 points behind Liverpool on 57. They are very interesting scenes. And Manchester United clawing themselves back into the discussion. 6th place, but with level on points with Arsenal on 41 points and just behind on 2 by a -2 goal difference there. So it's very big scenes and big times here at Manchester United. So players will be very excited.
Pop champagne, yeah, we might put this champion on the mic be all night.